Good morning, guys. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. If you're Canadian, I know it's our long weekend, but we work the American hours, right? A few things. I did post some good information in pre-market prep, and if you guys want to read through it, right? Posted some Tom Lee charts as well. If you guys want to go read through those, and it's just a matter of understanding them to get a better understanding of what exactly does it mean by that. But some comments that I have, I mean, if you go to pre-market, you'll get these comments as well, right? But I'll still cover them. So far, we've been in this down channel since since March of end. All right, so March, April, May, right? This is now we're towards the end of May. How does a monthly candle potentially close, right? We have another 5, 6 trading days left, and then let's see. So far, we're in this first major support zone of 3800, 3900, which has always been a target, right? This is something that LB and I myself covered a few months back, right? Back in December, that this was our first target ever since. And we finally approached it. What happens here? But now that we're here, we're seeing more downside, right? Why? Because of the given market conditions, certain things that are going on. But for now, the most major important level to the downside that personally I believe is this zone right here from Jan of 2021, which happens to be 3700. This is where the major zone is right now, even based on options data. If you read the notes of Spot Gamma also, so 3700 is a major level. This is the level I am comfortable buying in some call debit spreads on certain names. Why? Because 3700 I believe should hold for 1-2 weeks at least, and that 1-2 week hold can give me can double my money on debit spreads, which I will do, right? And don't forget that we do have a session tonight. There is a session tonight at 8, so please do attend, right? Check announcements in premium for all the details. So there is a session that we have tonight, so please do attend. So 3700 is major. To the upside right here we have is 4000 is major right now, and 4000 is much closer than 3700. But if the market builds weakness, even though we're at strong support level, it can absolutely come towards 3700. Few things now. Hedges have been removed, right? With what? I hope you guys all know this. We had OPEX where a lot of puts came off, so some hedges have been removed. We'll see when they get placed. So what does that mean? The market can fall much faster if required, if it's going to fall, right? Because more people or funds are going to add on to puts, which is going to further fuel down the market to go down much more. All right. Now from Spot Gamma, hedges have been removed. This gives you have to understand what that means now, right? If the market sells off, it will be a fast sell-off, right? If more puts will be bought. Right, so you guys have to, so these are the things that you guys have to understand from there. So hedges have been removed. There has been some tech call buying. Tech call buying has increased. It's probably because of this support level. I'm guessing people are betting on this bounce, NDX and SPX from these levels, and then let's see what happens, right? But puts also remain near highs as well. All right, so you have the data. So puts are also near highs, but tech call buying has increased a little bit. Okay. Now the question is, does it stay there or does it get sold off in the next few days? We have to watch for the levels. All right, and our next OPEX is which is happens to be quad, right? The next MOPEX is quad, right? This will be much bigger because if you don't know what quad witching is, I highly suggest that you understand, because this has to do a lot with the options. This happens 4 times a year, where a bunch of different types of options from futures, from contracts, they all come off at the same time. All right, they all expire on the same time, I mean. Okay, so that's that for SPX. So 3700 is a major level to the downside. Upside 4000. Where do we go from here? I have zero idea, absolutely zero. Okay, so we have to watch the market, see what happens. I don't want to predict anything. We can bounce from here, and then we can also sell off if required. There is a lot of negativity in the world right now, just know this, right? The coming months are not pretty, that's for sure. And now some other charts that I do want to compare that I have written down. I do my homework, by the way, so you guys know. It's not just something that I just speak right every day. We put a lot of work into it. I hope you guys went through a newsletter that LB put together, right? That also requires a lot of work. It's not just charts that we post. Like, he probably does research on what to post in there, which is time consuming. And then we have the rates. Let's just see what the rates have been doing. Okay, so a little bull flaggy pattern. If we hold these levels, right? If we hold these levels for now, rates are very when rates go up, for the recent trend is very bearish for the market. We are at the 2.76 support. Let's see if we hold through here, or maybe we come and retest lower and then go up, right? But if this cools down, obviously it might be good for certain sectors in the stock market. All right, and then the dollar also DXY. Okay, so it's the highs last week, but the market is still near the lows. The dollar gave up, right? And let's see if the dollar holds. Let's see if the dollar holds these levels, or do we come test lower? Okay, if the dollar comes lower, you want to pay attention to names like SC and so on, right? And then we have the bonds, UB. Let's just look at those. Okay, so a little bear flaggy pattern. Let's see if we hold here, do we bounce? If bonds UB1, so nice little sell off. We're near 156. Let's just see the longer term time support, what's happening here, so we know. Yep, so we're near the strong support level here, right? So to get through down to these levels, it will be hard, right? And we saw that when bonds were selling off, the market is also sold off along with it. But not every day is the same action, but overall the bigger picture is the same. So if bonds hold here, I guess we see some upside. That might provide some support for the markets as well. All right, see if the money comes back into equities as well. And then China, Taiwan, one name I want to keep an eye on is TSM, given the stuff that's going on here. And on the weekly, it's a clear channel that we are at a very strong support, but at the same time, also being at a strong support level, the 200 MA is not too far. The 200 MA is not too far. It's again 10-15 points away. And if TSM, you catch 10 points to a downside on the options, your options can go up 300-400%. But here they're at a strong level. Just keep an eye on it, because this market, one thing that we have seen when things fall, they fall. For example, PayPal, right? Imagine kept trying to buy a dip on PayPal. It just kept dipping. So same thing can happen with the chip names as well. All right, as much as I'm bullish on them, as much as I like them, at the same time, I do see a lot of downside if it gets sold off. Right, so TSM, keep an eye on it. This $10 move is not too far if it breaks support level. And plus, given China and Taiwan tensions, so keep an eye on this. If you see weakness in it, it's probably worth a play. Right, and then we have VMW. VMware. This is up a lot pre-market. I'm gonna see if I want to buy puts on this name today, maybe, because anything we've seen that gaps up huge pre-market is worth to buy puts. The news with them is that Avago has presented a buyout offer, I believe. So this is one name that I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I don't want to ever trade this name, but I do know I look at it here and there. But VMW, I'll see if I want to fade this from 119, 120. If it gets there, I'll probably fade this name. And AVGO is down, I believe, pre-market based on this new news. Yep. And AVGO, if this name breaks, it's at least a 40-point move down, or more than 40. It's trading at 540 right now. This is almost a 50-60 point to the downside on options if you want to catch this name. And then Boeing, I think had some positive news with the spatial this morning, up a little bit pre-market. But on the weekly, it does not look too good. The only thing I can see here is that this gap has been filled. That this gap is almost filled if somebody wants to look into it from this week right here to see if this gap is filled. And then our next support is obviously COVID lows, and if we lose COVID lows, that's just very ugly for the markets. It's going to get really ugly for the markets, right? We are already in historical times, but underneath there's a big move down all the way towards 60, 70, 90, right? So Boeing better hold these levels, and it better hold these levels. That's all I can say, right? Tesla, one name I'm going to keep an eye on from tech, under 650. This name right here, I'm just gonna go over it. Let's go over the daily, right? Because I think this is weaker compared to all of the tech today. So Tesla, keep an eye on it under 650. Okay, under 650, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it under 650. 600 will be fast. All right, and then we reach our target 500s, 50 more points. All right. So keep an eye on Tesla under 650. Under 650, they can actually sell this off all the way towards 600 and even all the way towards 550, basically. Another 100 points down. All right. So Tesla does not have to follow the market. Just know this. Under 650, it gets really weak. More sell-off will happen in Tesla. Okay, just know this. So 650, they must hold level. Google also, I have these zones drawn. We were in this major zone. We stayed here for a while. We tried to defend, and we eventually broke down. We're at this support level now. Let's see if it holds, or do we bounce this week and then come back down. One thing that you guys want to know, if I go on NVX, is that for the last many weeks, we have been selling off. Tech has been selling off, the entire sector, almost many sectors. But right now we're here at these levels, which are very, there's a lot of supply and demand in this zone. Right, so a lot of choppiness will occur here. Just know this. For the next 2-3 weeks, we can even be bouncing 100, 200 points up and down on SPX. Expect this, okay? So that is a possibility. If that happens, it's going to be very hard to trade the market. You hit the play, you take your profits, and you wait for the next play or your next setup. Just know this. Okay, so no need to rush. And Apple, very weak. We got the first zone right here where a lot of supply and demand is right here. So let's see if we hold these levels, the 135-ish, right? If we can hold it, if we don't hold it, we have all the way towards 120 next, right? I hope we hold these levels, we build a little bear flag so we can play this again sometime in June or July. Because if these setups, if it just goes straight down, puts are expensive, VIX is probably going to go much higher, it becomes much harder for us to play. All right, even though we might know the move, but the options are priced very expensive then. The deltas are huge with VIX high, all right? And so that's the only thing. So it will be nice to have the market hold or even bounce a little bit at these levels. I would love Apple back at 148, 149, to be honest, right? That will provide us an opportunity to reshort it one more time. And overall, the one thing I can only say in this market is manage size, right? Small sizes go a long way in this market and save your cash. You're gonna need this cash later on in the year, and so or sometime early next year. Trust me on this. This save your cash. You're gonna need this sometime at the end of the year or maybe sometime next year. You will thank yourself